Tonight, it's a battle for the top of Region 5 in Class 6A. The undefeated Antioch Bears roll into Clarksville to take on the Wildcats. On the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. And we are glad to be back under the Friday Night Lights. That's the former Vanderbilt Commodore Bruno Reagan. I'm Lucas Panzica. So glad to have you with us here in Week 10, and there is a lot on the line in this one. Antioch is having a dream season. 8-0 for the first time in 60 years. Clarksville are winners of 6 straight, and Bruno, they couldn't be more different in the way they get it done.
Absolutely, and with this new alignment, it's a big region matchup. No ability to clinch tonight, but it will set the tone for home field advantage going into the last week of the season.
Yeah, that's right. Both teams are unbeaten in region play, so the winner is in the driver's seat heading into the regular season finale. High stakes, so let's look at the keys to the game. Antioch, an electric offense averaging over 43 points per game, Bruno. Every turnover they force is another possession for that unit.
Absolutely, and you have to control your own time of possession, too. You have to control your time of possession. You have to control the football. Andre Adams, the leader of this Antioch Bears offense, he only has 1 turnover on the entire season that he's given away. If he can keep that at 1 tonight, it's basically a shoo-in for Antioch to win.
And like you said, it could be a shootout. So for Clarksville, can't leave points on the table. Drives have to end in touchdowns, not field goals.
Absolutely. For Clarksville, anytime they get the football, they have to take advantage. They have to be efficient on offense. They have a lot of different rushers. They're going to have to rely on those bodies. That way, when they get to the third and fourth quarter, they can stay on the field.
Well, going to be a lot of points potentially in this one, and nobody has generated points better than Antioch quarterback Andre Adams as we look at our key players. I mean, where to begin, Bruno? He's the lead rusher for the Bears. He's the #1 passer in the Mid-State, and maybe most impressively, which you already pointed out, 39 total touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, Lucas, I asked you before we hit the opener, I was like, hey, do you want to say all these numbers right now? Because it's so many to keep in my head. I don't know if I could do it. And it was absolutely, but you're looking at probably the future Mr. Football here in Tennessee. And there's a lot of shared interest between me and him tonight. I know he's big on the Commodores. He just got done visiting, so I'm going to be watching this game with great interest.
That's right. I know you would love to see him in black and gold. But speaking of Vanderbilt targets, Jamarcus Watkins, the Clarksville running back and cornerback, he's capable of big plays as well. They're going to need him on both sides of the ball tonight.
Absolutely. He'll be our player to watch tonight for Clarksville, and he's a part of a big tandem that shares about equal rushes, and they all play about the same. Coach Shelby expects that out of them. Jamarcus, he's a great player, and you got to remember that there's a Galbraith legacy here tonight with Amari Galbraith coming in tonight, so there's a big tandem, but look out for Watkins tonight.
Playmakers all over the field, region standings on the line, and it's homecoming night, so let's bring in the third member of our crew, Sammy Kincaid, for an injury update before kickoff.
Hey guys, for the Bart-Durham injury update, it is a short list tonight with only 1 player on the list, and that is defensive lineman Rashad Glenn from Antioch. He is out tonight with a knee injury that he suffered in week 1. That's it for your Bart-Durham injury update. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have kickoff, coin toss. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this.
We are at Clarksville High School, the house that Harry Galbraith helped build, a legend whose legacy spans multiple decades in this community and onto this Clarksville football team. It's homecoming night, and it's a fight for the top of Region 5, 6A in Week 10 as undefeated Antioch makes the trip north to Clarksville, where the Wildcats are hungry for a 7th straight win. Let's go down to the field for the Tennessee Army National Guard coin toss with our referee, Mike Artis. Clarksville in their home purple, Antioch in their road whites. Here in the penultimate game of the regular season, we are thrilled to have you with us. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan in the booth, Sammy Kincaid downstairs on the field. We'll hear from her in a little bit. As Clarksville wins the toss, they want the football, so the Wildcats will get it first on a beautiful night. 55 degrees for the first ever meeting between these two since 2006. Last time we saw Clarksville all the way back in Week 3, lightning delays pushed the game to Saturday. But Bruno's up here doing his rain dances. They are working. We're going to play 4 quarters tonight in a huge matchup.
Absolutely. I've done everything that needed to be done so we could have a Clarksville game actually go to the end of regulation here tonight. So you can thank me later.
He's just doing the gritty, so I'm not sure what impact it's actually making. Fred Tumba will kick us off, and we're underway in Week 10 in Region 5, 6A. Kickoff is bobbled and scooped up down across the 35. That's where Clarksville will start us off here on the opening series of this matchup. Bryson Ellington fielding the opening kickoff, and the Wildcats offense been averaging 28 points per game, and it is led by junior quarterback Caden Pledger. He's done a nice job marshaling this spread triple option that got off to a bit of a slow start, had an early season injury to Pledger that impacted that, but they're on a roll with 6 straight wins.
Yeah, when we first saw Clarksville, they were both 0-2. It was a Rossview matchup where someone had to win the game, essentially. Both winless teams. Now that both these teams, and their stats were pretty bare bones at that point, too. Now they've shown that they can be efficient. They've ran the table to this point, 6-2, led by Pledger.
Already a stoppage down on the field. Our officiating crew sorts something out here.
Looks like it's an equipment issue with the widest wide receiver on the edge there for, Antioch. Maybe Aiden Adams, the freshman.
A freshman wide receiver and defensive back for the Bears. He will jog off the field. He's replaced by Corday Walker, a junior. And here we go. We're ready for the first snap tonight in Week 10. Homecoming night at Clarksville High. Pledger's snap is handed off up the middle to Ellington. Nothing up the middle. And he's pushed backwards on first down. Forward progress will give him no gain on the play, but Antioch's defensive front flying to the football on 1st and 10.
It's a good play by Antioch, but if you remember the last time we saw Clarksville High, you can lose that football, that rusher in the pile, and then eventually just kind of pops out in this spread triple option. So don't think a play dies just because there's a lot of color.
BMC Metalworks starting lineups. Avari Galbraith, a key player for this team as a ball carrier. Jamarcus Watkins, our player to watch, the Vanderbilt target. An offense that really spreads the football around as they screen it out to Galbraith, unable to hang on. Incomplete to bring up 2nd and 10. And already Clarksville having to dig out of a 3rd and long hole on the opening series.
And that's adverse to the key to the game we wanted as we take a look at our defensive starters.
For Antioch, Caleb Doss in the middle. He is a hammer. At middle linebacker, lead tackler for this group. And Aiden Adams, the freshman corner. We'll be talking about the Adams family a lot tonight on both sides of the ball and on the coaching staff at Antioch High School. Pledger up the middle, slipping on the grass and tumbling down as Galbraith picks up 3 or 4 on the play. We'll call it a gain of 3, 4th and 7, and it looks like Clarksville will keep the offense on the field, at least for the moment.
I assume most people out there have somewhat defined televisions. You can take a look at the field. The conditions, it does look a little worn down this late into the season, so you saw Galbraith slip right there.
And a timeout on the field. Clarksville will take its first one of the game. With the offense out on 4th and 7, they'll bring it in and talk about it. Opening series here, and we talked in pregame about Antioch's offense, the fireworks that they have brought to every game this season. What do you think here if you're Clarksville? What's the discussion right now on the sideline on a 4th and 7 where you don't want to give the Bears good field position on the opening series of the game, something that Isaac Shelby's discussing with his team now.
Absolutely. Isaac Shelby, he came in to a Clarksville program that really got away from its winning ways, so to speak, but now they're starting to come back. They've had consecutive playoff appearances. They're trying to get over that hump, and Antioch is a team that is that caliber of school that they need to get over, right? So you have an offensive player like Andre Adams. You just hope, as you can take a look at Coach Broom right there for Antioch, I think it's just finding a way to, when people say find a way to win, it can sound cliche, but that's turnovers, that's big plays on 3rd down, that's someone calling their own number.
But it will be a pooch punt from the Clarksville quarterback, Caden Pledger, as it bounces and stops inside the 30. So they boot it away. The Wildcats go 3 and out to open things up, and Antioch will come out onto the field with Andre Adams, the junior quarterback, who has been the driving force behind this electric unit. The #1 passer in the mid-state, a group that has put up over 43 points per game. And Adams, as you've already mentioned, certainly a favorite for 6A Mr. Football with the season he's had. And we'll talk about that more certainly as the night goes on. The dual threat quarterback alone in the backfield here. A quick screen to the left side is dropped. Can't connect on his first pass of the game. Looking for Kobe Belton. The senior receiver brings up 2nd and 10.
Something I alluded to in most of the games in October, as we take a look at Adams and his numbers, his total offense, 39 total touchdowns, over 3,000 yards on the season. Still 2 weeks to go, including this game in the regular season, but the weather is going to start to play a factor. It's something that you haven't practiced in, something you're not used to. So whoever can adapt the fastest, they'll have the better offensive production.
On 2nd and 10, Adams facing pressure, so dangerous on the run. He will tuck and scoot out of bounds. Picks up a handful there. We'll call it a gain of 3 and bring up 3rd and 7. Clarksville able to get through with a little bit of extra pressure. And actually they'll move the spot back here. Call it a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 9 for Antioch.
That was such a good rush by Hollywood Johnson for Clarksville up the middle. Big number 60 at the nose guard position. He just bulldozed right through the Antioch center.
Adams, a 73% passer on the season with those huge numbers. Another screen to his main man, Brandon Galladay, and he is at the line to gain. It's going to be close. Looks like he's got just enough for the first down. Tackle made by Nate Parada, but Brandon Galladay, whose game has skyrocketed this year, has his first catch of the game, his 53rd of the season.
And that's the way football's trending, these swing passes right now, but it's Adams' job to get them in front of his player where they can yak yards after the catch, right? And that was such a good job by both him and Galladay to convert.
They're going to get him the football again, this time on the right side of the formation, and he is tugged down across the 40. While we're tossing out big-time numbers, Brandon Galladay officially over 1,200 receiving yards on the season after those 2 catches in the 8th game of the year for the Antioch Bears. 9th game, rather.
He'd be 200, whatever you need in the NFL with 16 games to be considered an all-pro player. So definitely a very impressive season for Brandon Galladay.
Offers starting to roll in. Arkansas State, Tennessee State, UTC all knocking on the door for the senior wideout. On 2nd and 6, bulldozed in the backfield is Adrian Watts. Dawson Smith, the leader, the lead tackler of this Clarksville defense, knifes in to make the hit for a loss, and it's 3rd and 9.
Man, we were considering some defensive players to watch, and there's Dawson Smith. He just hugs the offensive lineman so tight to the point of attack. That was just such a good, instinctive football play, very high level from the senior.
Multi-sport athlete here at Clarksville. You can see the leadership there. This team gravitates towards Dawson Smith, going to play such a key role in trying to contain this electric Antioch offense tonight. On 3rd and long, Adams again facing pressure, trying to wiggle out of it. He can't do it. Smith in on the stop. It's a sack by the Wildcats. 4th and long upcoming for the Antioch Bears, who do not punt it away a lot. So the upcoming decision will be interesting here from Arcente Broom.
I saw so many rushers that were up on the line of scrimmage. I knew Clarksville was going to try and dial up something. They have to disrupt Adams in some way, shape, or fashion. And they're able to get home on them. And you said it, because this is the Antioch offense that does not punt a lot. And their first series of the game may be a statement for the type of game we're going to find ourselves in as we get later into the season, now that playoff implications are heavily involved.
4th and 15. And here's a timeout on the field, as now Antioch wants to bring it in and talk about it. Homecoming night at Clarksville. The winner tonight will top the region heading into the regular season finale. So early exchanges here. We'll see what Antioch decides to do when we come back on MyTV 30. Beautiful night for homecoming at Clarksville High School. Our national anthem moment presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. And we are so glad you're here with us tonight on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Our homecoming court tonight at Clarksville, the land of one Bruno Reagan, a Hall of Famer at this place. I didn't see the statue when I pulled in. I'm sure I'll catch it on the way out.
Har, 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 Lucas. Did anyone tell you you're a funny guy?
They do love you around here. It's fun to see the schmoozing when you walk on campus. Meanwhile, Antioch facing a 4th and 15, and offense is on the field.
I love it. I was just telling you off the break. Let's see some different, right? You hear stories about the no punting, no kicking. Here we are.
They're going. Andre Adams steps in the pocket. He's hit. He's going down. Flags are out. Dawson Smith got there first. And he comes out with the football. They will rule Adams down, and we'll see what the penalty is. But Dawson Smith spearheading that first Clarksville defensive possession.
You'd have to imagine that penalty is going to be on the offense. Both teams transitioning to the next phase of football. And the biggest offensive gain of the game so far is the Clarksville punt.
Holding. White. Penalties declined. Be first down Clarksville.
And the Wildcats will take over with excellent field position. Smith in on both of those sacks. He had 4.5 already coming into the game. And he is making his presence felt in that backfield.
Yeah, you can see the holding there that restricted a Clarksville player in the backfield. Max Cunningham, another leader on this defense, but draws it, gets it home.
Quick handoff up the middle to Avari Galbraith. Key player for this Clarksville offense and a legacy player, the grandnephew of Clarksville legend Harry Galbraith. And we'll hear more on that a little bit later on from Sammy Kincaid. Galbraith will get another crack at it. No. This is DeMarcus Watkins getting his first touch on the football. Works his way inside the 25. And it brings up 3rd and short for Clarksville. The Vandy target approaching 500 rush yards on his season.
can see the single puller right there, and a good job by Watkins to get up into that gap. Maybe could have hugged the offensive line a little bit more off of his paint, but takes the yards nonetheless to force a third and manageable.
Caleb Doss had the tackle. Need 3 yards to move the chains. It will be Galbraith as he stumbles inside the red zone, and he's got a BMC Metalworks first down. Clarksville in business early here after that 4th down stop.
Avari Galbraith, as we mentioned, grandnephew and legacy of probably the most successful Clarksville football player, Harry Galbraith. He's playing out of the running back position. Harry was a little bit of a bigger statue man on the offensive line.
Dawson Smith with a little bit of motion gets a carry. Inside the 15, he powers through. Saw him flashing on the last defensive possession, and he'll hand him the football, his 22nd carry of the season.
A physical game on front played by Clarksville High, you know. I'm interested to see how Antioch's defensive front really tries to match their physicality, because this is the style of offense we're going to see the entire time, from a 2-minute to a end a half situation. This is what Clarksville's going to do, and it's going to really take a toll.
Pledger gives to Galbraith, plunges up the middle, inside the 10, and Clarksville just chipping away here in the run game. With that triple option, it'll be close to a first down. We'll see if they bring out the sticks, and they will move the chains. 1st and goal for the Wildcats. That one a pickup of 6. Chewing clock too as we get inside 5 minutes to go in the first quarter on this snap. Galbraith. Power football here from the Wildcats. A tough-nosed squad. Started the season 0-2. Took some punches, but they haven't lost since. They've got their eye on the top of the region standings, going between the tackles here early.
Yeah, it looks like they like running. I think they see something on any outside of the defensive football that they like running into. Maybe it's the shade that's setting into, you can see right there on the right side of your screen. It makes it a little bit of a more open gap on the right.
Trying to use some speed on the edge, and Jamarcus Watkins is in for the opening score. Touchdown, Clarksville. A South College touchdown, and the Wildcats take over in plus territory and make the most of it with Jamarcus Watkins' 8th total touchdown of the year.
Just great track by Watkins. Also, such a great job by Avari Galbraith on that lead block. He actually sees that he's not needed in the front, so who's the free man? It's coming from the backside. He completely turns his shoulders and hits whoever's tracking Jamarcus Watkins on the backside, letting him just walk in virtually untouched.
So the Wildcats punch first, and the offense will remain on the field to go for 2. We talked about not leaving points on the table. And they're taking that to heart with some trickery. Straight to Galbraith out of the Wildcat. And he does not get in. Stop just short. So 6-0 will remain the Clarksville lead after the Jamarcus Watkins touchdown. They'll pick up a flag on the field. But the home team striking first here on homecoming night in Week 10 on my TV 30.
Welcome back to Clarksville High School, where they currently lead Antioch 6-0, and I am joined by Staff Sergeant Taylor Betterly. And first off, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for joining me. And tell me first off, how is the Tennessee Army National Guard different from other military branches?
So we're different in the way that we have a dual-purpose mission, where our primary mission is serving the state of Tennessee and the people of Tennessee via natural disasters or however need be it for the governor of Tennessee. Our secondary mission would be a federal mission, whether it be throughout the nation or overseas.
And there can be a lot of jobs in the Tennessee Army National Guard. What are some of those jobs that people can have?
So with us, it can be a wide variety of different things. We have over 130 different career options. So it's more or less whatever that individual is interested in doing. We have all the way from charades to medical to aviation to combat arms jobs.
That's a lot of different options that somebody has, and everyone talks about the benefits of being in the military, but what benefit is specific to the Tennessee Army National Guard?
So we have numerous ones. Our top number one thing being our state tuition assistance, the Tennessee Strong Act, where that paired with the federal tuition assistance allows an individual to go to school in the state of Tennessee at all public universities and most private universities, 100% tuition and fees covered.
Wow, what a great opportunity. Again, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for joining me down here.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to the Tennessee Army National Guard for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, up to you.
Well, thank you, Sammy. DeMarcus Watkins getting the scoring started. A 7-play, 30-yard drive. Clarksville forcing the turnover on downs and making quick work of it. It goes down as a pass, a forward pitch to DeMarcus Watkins. So Caden Pledger will get the touchdown pass, and Antioch will get it back down by a score.
It must feel good if you're Pledger.
Onside kick. Clarksville wants the football. Owen Richards executing it. Bodies on it. And Clarksville's coming out with it. We don't have an official ruling yet. It's Antioch football.
It looked like there was contact with the Clarksville football player. Check at the 8 yards. So the ball has to travel 10 yards without being touched. And I believe it bounces up into the chest. So let's take a look. I mean, what a great call by Clarksville. Watch right here. And you can see it touches him right before it crosses. So 8 yards isn't 10. That is a good call by the officiating crew. Antioch football with good field position.
And the ball making contact with Ethan Dalrymple there. And so the Bears will have good field position, but you love the aggressiveness early from Clarksville. They know what they're up against tonight in this Antioch offense. Going for two after the touchdown and the onside kick. Both unsuccessful, but it certainly sets a tone against this Antioch offense. Averaging over 43 points per game, led by Andre Adams. As you look at the BMC Metalwork starters, quarterback keeper on first down. He bounces out of pressure and scampers out of bounds. Adams, an electric runner this season. Over 700 rush yards on the year, leads the team.
The thing about Adams is he's always getting coached. He's on the sideline on the defense out there. He's getting coached. He's on the field between. He's getting coached. Take a look at the Clarksville defense.
Dawson Smith, we've seen him pop up already with a pair of sacks on the first Antioch drive, number 12 in the middle. And DeMarcus Watkins, the Vandy prospect, at corner. On 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain, Antioch back to the ground game, but a flag flies in the backfield.
In the area of offensive holding from the back judge, as you can see some Antioch players, they're doing the fable, both hands up. I didn't do anything.
51 White.
Mike Artis calling the left tackle Devon Rhodes.
Take a look at the right side of your screen. They're calling on number 51. Gets a little tangled up. I don't know if there's restrictive holding there. I would say that's a no. So maybe his hands up were justified, but tough call. The referees don't have access to instant replay on the field at the high school level. Got to live and learn.
10-yard penalty at 2nd and 12. Early movement. Plenty of finger pointing.
Looks like it was the receiver for Antioch to draw everyone off.
Ball start, offense.
It was number 14, Khalil Ferguson, at the very top of the screen, out of the left hash.
So just like that, what was a 2nd and short for Antioch is now 2nd and 17, backed up into their own territory. As our Sente Broom looks on in his second season, and my goodness, has he turned around this program that was 0-10 only 2 years ago, and now sitting here at 8-0 and converting on 2nd and 17 over the top. Andre to Aiden, the brotherly connection. And it's a BMC Metalworks first down to the 31 of Clarksville, a 25-yard pitch and catch.
Adams, it's just a man coverage. He just creates so much separation so early. I think you hear so much of a mismatch with size. Well, I think Adams being the quicker twitch guy right there is a mismatch in that self.
Andre Adams dropping, running, escaping across the 30. Gallops to the red zone and out of bounds. And now we're starting to see that big playability rear its head for the Antioch Bears.
Such a good player. Offers starting to roll in for Andre Adams also. I'm a Vanderbilt alumni looking with great instinct. I see right here, though, with Andre Adams, he's such good playmaking ability. If I was his coach right now, I would say, hey, tuck that football in just a little bit more, right? But what do I know? He only has one turnover in the entire season. So it's been good ball control for this Antioch offense up to this point.
He is leading a season that is one win away from the best start in school history if Antioch is to get to 9-0 tonight. Left side, flags are down as Adams was looking for Galladay. Here's Mike Artis.
51 White.
It's again on the left tackle, Devon Rhodes, and penalties being the only thing holding back the Bears on this drive.
Take a look at the right side of your screen. You can see that right hand on the back plate. Again, it's only very little, but whatever the referees are going to call, you have to play to that. And any offensive line coach would say, hey, get your feet moving. That's also a bad idea right there. If you do watch the TV copy, you want your gloves to look like the same color as the opposing team's jersey. That's something I always did. I never told anybody, but I do that. Those bright green ones, I can see holding from a mile away.
It's the second holding call on Rhodes, and it makes it 1st and 20. They'll go back to that left side, and scuttling inside the red zone is Tim Thomas for a gain that will get it back across the original line of scrimmage and bring up 2nd and 7.
And an offense like Antioch is just one of the most annoying to play against. They're in 2nd 25, 2nd 17, whatever, and they're always a threat to convert it or hit a big play. It's just so frustrating as a defensive coach or player as they convert there to Tim Thomas to get back over the original line of scrimmage.
Well, just so many different playmakers. I've already seen 3 different pass catchers popping up for the Bears, and going deep looking for a 4th was Adams as Belton was in the back of the end zone, but it sails out to bring up 3rd and 7.
Antioch, if they're willing to go for it behind their own 30, I'd have to imagine that right here is going to be an easy choice for 4-down territory if that becomes the case.
Arcente Broom, you gotta love the gloves on the head coach. He looks like he could get out there and suit up right now.
I absolutely loved it. And I loved their whole vibe when we were talking pregame. The entire coaching staff for Antioch, it just seemed like a bunch of well-mannered men.
Adams over the middle, searching for Belton again, and it's incomplete. 4th and 7, no hesitation. The Bears are going to go for it. Antioch on its opening series faced a 4th and 15 in its own territory. Put the offense on the field, and a sack gave Clarksville the football, which the Wildcats turned into the game's opening touchdown, and now the Bears looking to strike back.
Looks like there's some frustration on the Antioch sideline regarding personnel coming out. Only 10 seconds left on the play clock, and they're not set yet.
Adams. On 4th down, play is blown dead. Timeout on the field. Antioch takes its 2nd one of the first half.
They did get that snap off in time, but probably a good idea to get your personnel and talk about this play that's so important all the way on the other side of the field, because if they turn this ball over and Clarksville is able to create an entire series of football going down 90 yards, that's going to be so much time off the clock.
Here are the stakes. In the second to last week of the regular season, Antioch and Clarksville both undefeated in region play. Rossview just lurking there in third. Now Antioch will travel to Rossview next week to close out the regular season. Clarksville already has the head-to-head win over Rossview. Head-to-head, the first tiebreaker. Overall wins the second tiebreaker. So all of that aside, Bruno, the winner tonight controls their own destiny to win Region 5 in Class 6A.
Absolutely. You said it. There's no chance to clinch tonight, but there is a chance that you control your own destiny going into the last game, be it Clarksville. Because if Clarksville wins tonight, obviously that they're going to have the head start on the region front.
4th and 7. An Antioch offense that in the last 4 games alone has averaged over 54 points per game. Trying to avoid being held scoreless in the opening quarter here. Adams guns it to the end zone. It's caught, but it's just short. Snagged by Ferguson, but it is enough for the first down, and it sets up 1st and goal for the Bears.
Pays off, going for it on 4th down, and Ferguson just gets the inside of Jamarcus Watkins.
Going quick, handing off to Watts, but a flag is down in the back of the end zone. Plenty of laundry so far in this first quarter.
Legal substitution on the defense.
So that'll move it half the distance. And they'll do 1st and goal again for Antioch. Isaac Shelby, the all-time winningest coach here at Clarksville High School, his alma mater. And it's homecoming night. The Wildcats hosting the red-hot Antioch Bears, going back to the ground for Watts, and he is swarmed. No chance there, as he is swallowed up by Trayvon Bledsoe.
Also, that first contact made right there off of the edge by Nate Parada, so a good gang tackle by the Clarksville Wildcats on the goal line. They actually create some space there for their defense after that penalty.
2nd and goal from the 4. Ja'Kai Bonner-Brown now in the backfield. They'll fake the give to him. Adams pump fakes, runs, leaps into the end zone. Touchdown Antioch, and the Bears punch back. A South College touchdown, the 11th rushing score of the season for the junior quarterback, the 6A Mr. Football contender, Andre Adams.
And that's just a part of the offense that they scheme up. They have this true spread offense, 5 down offensive linemen, all these guys off the edge. So if there's any space with the rushers getting a little bit too wide, too much space, Adams is going to call his own number and just get it done with his feet. He has a good balance of arm talent, leg talent. It's so hard to defend. He will score tonight, obviously. It's just how much can Clarksville restrict him to his previous success.
Getting a call on the field here from Mike Artis, a personal foul on the Clarksville defense after the play. They'll enforce that on the kickoff. Meanwhile, Antioch will go for 2, something they've done all season long. Play action. Adams spins away, has a man wide open, and Antioch has the lead. Finds his tight end, Tim Thomas, and the Bears have an 8-6 advantage on the road.
Another good pressure by Nate Parada, but he wasn't able to get home this time, and that ball soaring over Farrow's head, unguarded into the end zone.
So it took a couple drives, but this Antioch offense making their presence felt. Andre Adams leading that drive to take its first lead of the matchup.
But you have to imagine if you're Clarksville getting away with Antioch only having 8 points after a whole quarter of football, you have to, if I'm a defensive coach, I think, hey, that's a win. that's a win in our book. Now it's the offense's job to try and convert anytime they have the football. It's going to be a close game when you play a team as explosive as Antioch.
Fun start here in Week 10. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you. Sammy Kincaid down on the field. Second to last week of the regular season. Man, it always flies by. And got to think the last few weeks have flown by for these two teams, especially these seniors. Antioch 8-0, Clarksville 6-2 as you look at the scoring summary. 9 plays, 49 yards, and overcoming a lot of penalty yardage on that series.
Yeah, we saw almost 2nd and 20 on certain series, but Antioch just showing how explosive. They're probably the most explosive offense, maybe outside of Brentwood Academy, that we've seen up to this point. Very high-level offensive football led by Adams.
With a personal foul after the Antioch touchdown against Clarksville will allow Fred Tumba to kick it off from midfield. Or from the 45, rather, of Clarksville. Tumba, the sophomore from the Congo, has assimilated very well with this team in a major role. Kickoff fielded by Galbraith. Evades a man at the 15, and he forces his way to the 20. So Clarksville will take over. Excellent field position in the opening series for the Wildcats, and then again on their second series after stopping Antioch on a 4th and 15. This is the deepest in their own territory that Clarksville has started to drive early on here as Caden Pledger will come back out. Ellington is his running back. They give to Ellington. Powell being pushed across the 25. It's a good first down gain for Ellington. And you look at these ball carriers for Clarksville, their numbers all so similar, right? 479 yards, 421 yards, just across the board. They really share the football in this triple option.
It's like a game to them. It feels like it's intentional. They're like, all right. One's starting to get a little too far ahead. Let's start getting the other.
It really is remarkable how close the statistics are for Isaac Shelby's team. He calls the offense, and he'll tell his guys to hold up and take this thing to the end of the first quarter. Homecoming night in Clarksville, Tennessee, and the Antioch Bears have an 8-6 lead as we head to the second quarter on MyTV 30. Welcome back to Clarksville High School as we get ready to start the second quarter. Antioch leading the Wildcats 8-6 on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572 on MyTV 30. It's Panzika and Bruno Reagan with you. Sammy Kincaid down on the field. And that looks like a Hall of Famer, signing his national letter of intent to play for the Vanderbilt Commodores from Clarksville High School. Inducted a year ago into the Clarksville Hall of Fame. Oh, and also a state championship wrestler. On top of his great career as an offensive lineman here for the Wildcats. Looking good, looking trim in your high school days.
I'm glad you said it, because dang, I look a lot leaner in that picture.
Give yourself some credit now. Come on. There we go. Oh, man. Bruno, the last player from this school to go play for a Power 4 program on a scholarship. Now, Jamarcus Watkins could be the next in line there, our player to watch for Clarksville, wearing number 7. But a great career here and a really cool honor as Clarksville goes up the middle here. Not much on a 2nd and 3. But how cool is that to get that phone call, number 1, and then to be here honored into the Clarksville Hall of Fame, a place where they've been playing football for over a century.
Yeah, you know, obviously my teaching career has brought me other places, but it was good last year to come back and get inducted to the Hall of Fame. That was something that was new only 2 years ago, so they inducted a few people. It was an honor to be a part of that. I mean, I have so many great memories here. My Vanderbilt offer, it came in Spanish class with my football coach, Jonathan Allen, and I just, a lot of fond memories here for Clarksville. I love coming back and living here still.
And a lot of history here, too. Avari Galbraith knows something about that as he surges for a first down carry. Will move the chains. Galbraith, a junior back, the grandnephew of the great Harry Galbraith, the former Tennessee All-American offensive lineman, a decade-long career in the NFL, who was an absolute legend at this place. Jamarcus Watkins on the end around, showing that speed across the 40 as he dives across the 45. A 12-yard carry for the Vandy target. And a Bart Durham injury law first down as Clarksville's offense goes to work.
They definitely have a style of blocking that isn't, you know, set your feet and shuffle. I mean, Avari Galbraith and Collie Reynolds are absolutely sprinting down the field like missiles, head and shoulders first, just trying to get cuts and contact down the edge of the field.
Pledger floats into the left flat. Can't connect with Watkins. Brings up 2nd and 10. Let's go downstairs with Sammy Kincaid.
Hey, Bruno, you may be in the Hall of Fame for Clarksville High School, but we still got to get you a statue. The only Hall of Fame member with a statue is Harry Galbraith, and it's a large rock in front of the field house with his life dates as well as his time in the NFL. Harry was an All-American at UT, played for the Packers and the Dolphins. Coach told us if you go around town, not one single person will have a negative story about Harry. It's always how kind and gracious he was, and the coaches want to make sure the kids don't forget the history of the program, which there is a tie to this Clarksville High team. You were just talking about it. Harry is running back, a Harvey Galbraith's great uncle. Pretty cool story.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, Harry Galbraith, you talk about a legend. A guy who Philip Fulmer said is the best offensive lineman he ever coached. As a Clarksville alum and Hall of Famer, how can you speak to the legend that he is, the late, great Harry Galbraith?
Well, he set the standard. I mean, because I got to see that statue that they have, the rocket from the memorial in front of the field house as we get a penalty on the field. I had to walk by it every single day and kind of see, like, this is what's possible when you come to Clarksville High School. It doesn't have to be just a blip as an offense, or excuse me, an offsides, it's called an Antioch. But it doesn't have to be something that's so foreign. That inspired me. It really did. I thought, you know, why not me if he can do it? And he obviously became an All-American at Tennessee, a lot of years in the NFL. But as we could take a look, there's the memorial right there, obviously honoring the life also of the Harry Galbraith, who Coach Broom even had a connection to and spoke very, very highly of.
Everyone certainly seems to around Middle Tennessee as his grandnephew Avari Galbraith gets a carry there on first down, picks up 5. And he's had a nice year too. His older brother Omari now playing his college football at Kentucky Wesleyan after coming through this program. So a long line of that family. And Clarksville mobilizing into Antioch territory here on a drive that started on their own 20-yard line. Pledger will put it in the air, looking for Watkins. Ball got tipped and falls incomplete. Third down upcoming.
Good pass blocking up front. Not much pressure, and that's one of the most frustrating things as a lineman. When the defensive line, they just set their feet and they're playing for the jump ball. It's like, what can I do, coach? Well, swap their hands down. You have to have a coaching point somewhere.
Bryson Ellington gets a give up the middle, close to the marker, maybe just short. A late flag comes tailing in after the play.
See a Clarksville player's helmet is off. Could be a personal foul. A lot of yardage on the line.
One more, Trayvon. Let's go.
Sort this out.
Fake pass, defense, number 6.
That's going to be against Braden True, the senior linebacker. And that gives Clarksville a free first down. Isaac Shelby on your left, coaching at his alma mater, Clarksville High School. Arcente Broom, who has revived this Antioch program in a Week 10 battle for the top of the Region 5 standings in Class 6A. Ellington bullies his way down to the 10.
In Clarksville's offense, just the way they operate their scheme, it might be the counterpoint to Antioch's entire frame of football. I mean, just this control, this physicality where they can run on a whim and they're so ahead on their early downs. It just makes it so hard. It might be the way that Antioch takes their first loss on the season is through this style of play alone.
Back to Ellington. Across the 5, dragging tacklers. And he is down after a first down. Brings up first and goal for the Wildcats. Bully ball here on this series.
Yeah, you see Ellington, he's following the power play, but he ends up actually on the far back side of the line by the end of it just because Ellington is probably the best at keeping his legs moving in these piles. We saw in the Rossview game how he popped out a few times in the few explosive plays that we got to see before the rain cancellation. So it's, of course, a no-brainer that they'll rely on him in these shorter yard and goal line situations.
Back to Ellington. This time he is met and stood up. Ball is out. It's scooped up and off and running with it. Touched all the way. Touchdown, Antioch. A 99-yard scoop and score by the freshman. And what appeared to be a touchdown on an 80-yard march that was setting up for Clarksville is completely swung to the other side, and Antioch builds on its lead.
I thought I heard a whistle at the end of this play, but we take a look at Ellington as he's going down. The ball is pulled out. That should be ruled a fumble. It was out before he made contact with the ground. But I believe the forward progress, I thought I heard a whistle on the field, Lucas, but I didn't hear anything through my own headset as the Clarksville offense is still staying on their side of the field and the referees start to march backwards.
Yeah, they're having a discussion here. They may take this touchdown away.
What a huge blow that would be for Antioch, who I thought earned that strip and that touchdown. A great play by the freshman, Adams, of the family affair Adams family.
The Clarksville offense is on the field. We have not heard an official ruling, but it looks like they're going to give it back to the Wildcats here. Officials conferencing. There's a lot of confusion on the field right now, but the Clarksville offense is back out. The Antioch defense is as well.
Oh. We need another ball. We need a different There's a lot of pointing. No one really knows what's going on right now. I mean, there's not much commentary we can give you. Antioch seems a lot more poised with whatever decision is going to come, but Clarksville, there's a lot of communication going on with different mediums.
All right, what we have is prior to the fumble, we had a whistle forward progress that stopped at the 4-yard line. It'll be Clarksville, second down.
So the Wildcats catch a huge break.
I knew I wasn't hearing anything. I heard a whistle blow. It was a little early for forward progress, but there was a whistle, and that is the end of the play.
2nd and goal from the 4. Clarksville with another chance. Watkins plunges in. Touchdown, Wildcats. Back and forth we go, and Clarksville is back on top. Jamarcus Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 9th total touchdown of the season.
Good choice, Lucas, for our player to watch coming in with the staple of backs. 3 of them that had the same statistical outlook, but Watkins is getting his number called tonight with his 2nd touchdown and the lead over Antioch in this 2nd quarter.
Offense stays on the field for the 2-point conversion. You're going to be hearing those words a lot tonight with these 2 units. Pledger with the power eye. Football's loose. And falling on it is Doss. 2-point conversion, no good. So back and forth we go here in week 10. Jamarcus Watkins punches it in for a 2nd time tonight, and the Wildcats lead it 12-8 in the 2nd quarter.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
Midway point of the 2nd quarter, Clarksville on top 12-8 over Antioch at home after an 80-yard march. 5:27 off the clock. Jamarcus Watkins with the touchdown. And that feels like the formula tonight for Clarksville, right? Long, sustained drives, tough football up front.
It's exactly what they need. Without the potential turnovers that they could have had, they were saved by the whistle. Coach Broom, I did like his attitude with it. He was like, hey, guys, he's not the type of guy who's going to stand up and be like complaining, and you can only control what you can control, and we got to get back out there and play football.
So getting ready to kick it off is Owen Richards, the sophomore. And he scoops it straight up into the air. Clarksville's got a chance at it. Football is out. Wildcats saying it's theirs. Waiting for the ruling. They'll dig out that scrum, man. It looks like it's Clarksville football. Dalrymple hanging on to it, and the Wildcats will get it back.
Have you ever seen anything like that? The kicking coach for Clarksville High School, a former Austin Peay kicker, Isaac Zilkowski. I'm sure he had this one dialed up coming into the game. It's just such a unique style of football. I don't think you've ever seen anything like that. That deserves to be on the national highlight. An absolutely unique football play. We need to see that one in the higher levels of football. What a play, and you can see everyone getting hyped. I was never a guy for getting hyped with the specialist. That one, you deserve a big old attaboy. A great kick there.
Ethan Dalrymple with yet another legacy here at Clarksville High School. His older brother James, currently a running back at Kentucky. And they go back to Watkins. Has a seam up the middle. Jamarcus Watkins spinning down inside the red zone. And Clarksville's got all the momentum at home. A Bart Durham injury law first down and a 39-yard gain.
pin pull series of plays. We see two pullers going to the big open field, and with an open field and walk-in space, that is an equation that will equal major yardage.
Bryson Ellington up the middle. He is popped and down inside the 15. And Clarksville just playing their style of football here at home against a high-flying Antioch offense that it feels like Bruno has barely touched the ball.
And that's exactly what Clarksville wants. They want these long, sustained drives, just absolutely grinding out the Antioch Bears.
Football's loose, and Pledger saves the possession. Or no, it's being called Antioch football on the field. It looked like Pledger fell on it. He did not. Antioch takes over.
Fred Ntumba getting in and getting the turnover for Antioch. We'll take a look. I agree. It looks like Pledger is able to get on. Nope, he is actually pushed off, which you can make contact. So that was a great supporting effort there. That looked like that was Amari Peters, the senior defensive back, pushing Pledger off of the ball, allowing Ntumba to get the turnover back for Antioch. Just when everything was going Clarksville's way, Antioch makes the big-time turnover.
And the Bears offense will come back out onto the field. We have not seen Antioch quarterback Andre Adams since the end of the first quarter, after he led a scoring drive, finished off with a touchdown run. Bears star signal caller with a first down throw under pressure, escapes, and he's off across the 30, galloping out of bounds. 18-yard carry for the junior.
It's weird. He can move his body in such dynamic ways while keeping his eyes down the field. I want to criticize him for keeping that ball so loose, but I think he's just ready to throw it at any point.
Stay with us. The U.S. Navy halftime report coming up. We'll highlight this week's Sonic Scholar athletes, have participating administrator interviews, plus highlights from here and across the country. U.S. Navy forged by the sea. Adams this time is swallowed up. Thrown down. Max Cunningham, team leader in TFLs. He tacks on his 12th of the season. And backs it up. Second and long upcoming for Antioch after a loss of 4.
Cunningham, a force on the defense right now for Clarksville, especially that front. He drew a big holding earlier and made bodily contact to force an Adams sack in that first quarter. Now he's making his number called in the second quarter. If he keeps it up, could keep his defense in position to create these turnovers that the offense will need to eventually convert.
Adams guns it over the middle. It's dropped. Tim Thomas, his tight end, and it's 3rd and 14.
Just looked like the Antioch offense is in a little bit of a lull right now. A lot of drops, maybe some passes that are trying to be swung a little low, a lot of penalties, not a lot of momentum for them.
Under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Andre Adams fielding offers from Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Colorado, Georgia Tech, among many others. Looking to convert on 3rd down. Tip drill. It's caught by Belton, and he's near the marker. My goodness. And 4th and short is coming up for Antioch. No doubt they'll go here.
The circus is here in Clarksville tonight. There's also a football game being played, by the way, at the same time. You take a look. Very rarely do you see the tip drill go in favor of the offense, but there it does. Another first on Friday Night Rivals tonight.
4th and 1. Under center, Adams trying to push the pile. It goes backwards. Forward progress may give him the first down.
There is a flag on the area of offsides.
See if Mike Artis can clear this up here.
I don't even know if the spot is on a first down, Lucas.
The side judge to the far side certainly looked like he had marked it in favor of a first. They are putting the football down short of the sticks, but a penalty could impact things here.
Well, that was on fourth down, right? So it would just be a decline if it's on Antioch.
Now officials will get together. Some early adversity here for Antioch, who has just had a dream season, 8-0 for the first time since 1963. Arcente Broom, who you see there on the left, in his second season as the head coach, told us this week, they knew they had some good players this year, but in an honest moment, he said, we thought last year's squad was more talented. Guys that are now playing at MTSU, NC State. Wow. And here they are, 8-0, and looking to make a deep playoff run after in 2024 going 6-5 in what was the first winning season for Antioch since 2012.
And I think that's just a testament to how powerful, especially in the high school level, culture can be, right? So they might have been more talented, but now they're more used to a standard.
Here's Mike Artis.
All right, there's no flag on the play for illegal formation. It's a live ball. Line of game was not reached. Clarksville's first down.
The Wildcats take over. Huge stop for Clarksville. After fumbling the ball away in Antioch territory, they get it right back on offense.
It looked like the forward progression might have been enough, but the spot of the football was back. More adversity for this Antioch offense.
Well, that feels like a good candidate for our stop of the game coming up later on tonight. We'll tell you what it is in the fourth quarter. Presented by NHTSA. Law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Timeout on the field. Clarksville is going to take it. Second timeout. Wacky one in the first half at Clarksville High School. We'll take a timeout with them as the Wildcats have it back with a 12-8 lead on homecoming night, week 10 on MyTV 30.
All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners Sonic, Tennessee Army National Guard, South College, Bart Durham Injury Law, Western Kentucky University, BMC Metalworks, Wilson Bank and Trust, Josh Houston and Associates, and UA Local 572, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for you viewers at home. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support.
Under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter, in Clarksville after stopping Antioch on a 4th and short. Takes over. A little bit of trickery here, and they'll just tuck and run. It's covered up well by the Antioch defense, and Kanan Orton, the senior receiver, Wanted to throw it downfield. No gain on the play.
Kobe Rotel was covered down the field. Orton just says, I'm going to tuck and run. Probably a smart decision considering you're going to keep this ball away and control it all the way to the end of half with a chance to go up 2 scores.
Wide receiver that really came on this summer for the Wildcats. Up the middle, Ellington. Powers forward. And Clarksville can continue to milk clock here. Antioch down to just 1 timeout. The Bears do get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. But so far, this game playing out in the way that Clarksville would want it, as opposed to a shootout with each team in the 40s, which Antioch has seen a lot of this year.
I didn't know what to expect coming in, but this is the way Clarksville exactly wants the game to go.
Marcus Watkins, the man in motion across the 25 and down. Bart Durham injury law, 1st down. Watkins a little slow to get up, but it's a pickup of 17.
You can see it's a spread triple option, a very unique style of football. Watkins being the outside threat at any point for the give.
He's got 68 yards and a touchdown. They love the way DeMarcus Watkins has been playing in the last couple of weeks. Vision and speed has been on full display for the talented senior. They go back up the middle with Avari Galbraith. Just a platoon of talented ball carriers deployed here by Isaac Shelby's team.
See them milking the clock at this current moment. As we get shortened to the shorter and shorter field, Watkins, our player to watch and our current leader for player of the game, perhaps with his 2 touchdowns, they will rely on Ellington and Galbraith on these shorter yard situations.
Again, Watkins with speed makes a move and he is in. Touchdown Clarksville.
Never mind, make it 3 for the young man.
A hat trick for the senior. And the Wildcats have their largest lead of the night, stunning Antioch to take a 10-point advantage.
What a night and day difference from Watkins. When we went and watched Clarksville at Rossview earlier in our season, Watkins was struggling to find any sort of momentum or structure. Now, tonight, before the half, 3 touchdowns, the Vanderbilt target. Hopefully, future commit, hopefully, showing his stuff in the open field tonight.
And after the South College touchdown, they'll go for 2. Pulling the handoff, but Pledger slips up on the grass and goes down. And Clarksville now 0 for 3 on their 2-point conversion attempts. But Jamarcus Watkins making his case for the UA Local 572 Player of the Game. We'll reveal it for you coming up in the 4th quarter. UA Local 572, the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. What a night for Watkins. Came into the game with 7 total touchdowns on the year. He's got 3 before halftime. And Arcente Broom is coaching up his offense with a 2-minute drive before the break.
A lot of time for this Antioch offense to really close the gap, too. Clarksville, it's a game that's gone their way up to this point, but they've had some issues. We've had some fumbles. We've had them get out of a few fumbles. Now, Antioch, who is a threat at any point in the game, as we take a look at our scoring summary, Clarksville, 5 plays, 43 yards, only 2 minutes off the clock. Still, you score, you want to be happy, but that's a little bit outside of the momentum they want. Nonetheless, they do get up by 2 scores.
Remember, Antioch gets the ball to start the second half, so down by 10. They've taken some punches, no doubt, but big opportunity to double dip here for an offense that can come alive at any moment. Owen Richards, who has already attempted 2 onside kicks tonight. 1 was successful. And he's just going to boot this one. Bouncing at the 15 and just falling on it inside the 10 is Antioch. Cameron Franklin plays it safe, and the Bears come out on their own 9-yard line.
You know, it's something you want to criticize, but also you see so many teams make the mistake and then give the ball away. At a certain point, hey, we get the ball coming out of half, so let's give ourselves a chance. At least it's a lot of field to cover, but if anyone can do it, it's that young man right there, Andre Adams.
And special teams has been a factor for Clarksville all season, and they're making it a big strength in this first half. And Adams has one touchdown run on the night, having an unbelievable season. Now up to 40 total touchdowns on the year. Needs to go 91 yards to get back on the board before half. Quick pass over the middle will get them off to a nice start in this drive. And his younger brother, Aiden, the freshman, who they call Bug on this team. And Aiden Adams has got all the confidence in the world. As Coach told us this week, he believes he's the best athlete on the field, no matter who he's playing against.
He's going to make his way off the field right now, but what a good play to start off this drive, or they're going to have to overcome what is over 90 yards of offense in under 2 minutes.
That one picks up 15. Antioch with only one timeout remaining. Adams back to that quick game. He finds Khalil Ferguson. 12-yard pickup. Another talented wideout. Collecting offers himself. Southern Miss, UAB among the programs. Knocking on Khalil Ferguson's door.
So much talent. What a turnaround for this Antioch team. I mean, basically from the depths. I know what that's like as a Vanderbilt Commodore. But the turnaround, it's a very unique situation, and something that these kids, as a flag is down, both teams pointing at each other so far.
Offside on the offense, the call. Interesting phrasing. Rare to see that in a football game, but it'll back up Antioch 5 yards. 1st and 15.
This is a rather interesting call. We didn't get to see it as we were in the middle of conversation, but another roadblock for this Antioch offense.
And clock's rolling under 40 seconds. Adams bombs away, looking for Galladay, and it's incomplete. Jamarcus Watkins doing it on defense. His head coach told us this week Jamarcus was wanting the opportunity to cover Brandon Galladay, who's had a huge year. And that time he gets an opportunity and makes the most of it.
Falls behind just a little bit, but doesn't make initial contact and is able to hunt for where the ball will be. Jamarcus Watkins is playing for a legacy game right now here at Clarksville High School.
3 touchdowns on offense so far in the first half. Makes a big defensive play. It's 2nd and 15. Antioch with less than 27 seconds and only one timeout remaining.
Clarksville has one high safety. I would not be surprised if Antioch wants to go big once again.
And the Bears choose to take their final timeout here. The clock already stopped, but they'll talk about how to approach the rest of this drive. Interesting finish to the first half as we close in on the United States Navy halftime report. So I hope you'll stay with us. Bruno kind of teased the highlight reel from around the country. You don't want to miss that. We'll also have this week's Sonic Scholar athletes, participating school administrator interviews, and much more. The United States Navy, forged by the sea. So for Antioch, now you're out of timeouts. Clearly you got to put the ball in the air. It's a big play offense. If you're Clarksville, how do you approach this year? How conservative do you play it on defense, knowing they can get behind you at any moment?
Clarksville seems to be a live by our sword, die by our sword team, because we're already in this situation. They're only playing one high defense right now, and I think they're just going to stick to. And I wonder if that's what Antioch is talking about. They're going to say, hey, let's just take the shot again and again. We don't even need the time. We're just going to hope one of our guys makes a play on the edge. Maybe wherever that safety's tracking away, look towards that side.
2nd and 15. Adams facing some heat, wrapped up and swallowed. Clarksville gets home, and it could be the final play of the first half. Nate Parada knifes in. And he is up to 3.5 sacks on the year.
Well, Watkins might be our player to watch for our player of the game so far. The unit to watch might be the defensive line.
Last play of the half. Adams going deep. It's tipped up and incomplete. And that will take us to halftime. All Clarksville here at home on homecoming night. And the Wildcats will take the momentum into the locker room. An impressive first half in all three phases for Isaac Shelby's group. We'll hear from him in just a moment downstairs with Sammy Kincaid as his team has a 10-point lead at the break, and we go downstairs with Sammy.
Coach, obviously you're real excited with how that first half went. A lot of momentum shifts in your favor. How would you assess how your team is doing right now?
I think we're playing really good. We're playing tough. They're doing the things we're asking them to do. They're getting after it and they're trying, but Antioch's a great team. We got a whole nother half.
And what's the message to the team that you're going to have to improve upon in the second half?
You got to get better every second. You got to play. You got to play. Arsente is a great coach. Antioch's a great program, and we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sammy. Isaac Shelby and his group have an 18-8 lead in a critical Region 5 showdown in Class 6A. We'll see what kind of answer the Antioch Bears have in the second half. But first, the United States Navy halftime report is next on MyTV 30.
You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
We are proud to present the Sonic Scholar Athlete of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Cameron Franklin from Antioch High School and Dawson Smith from Clarksville High School. Cameron is a state qualifier for the 100 and 200 meter. He is a two-time track MVP and serves on the student council. Dawson was selected All-District in City Defense for football his junior year, voted team captain, and is co-president of FCA. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $10,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Sonic Athletes of the Week.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
Welcome back to Clarksville High School, hosting Antioch High School, and I'm joined by Antioch High School's athletic principal, Mr. David Lewis. And thank you so much for joining me down here tonight. And can you tell me first off, what is Antioch's motto?
Antioch's motto is where excellence meets opportunity. It's something that we strive for from the top down. We're led by our executive principal, Nikisha Burnett, who sets the standard high, and it trickles down. Excellence meets opportunity. That's what we strive for every day.
And I think that kind of leads into my next question about instructional focus that probably strives towards excellence as well.
Absolutely. So our instructional focus is a demonstration of mastery. What we look for our teachers and students to do is to present engaging lessons with high academic discourse that allows students the opportunity to demonstrate mastery in whatever content area they're in, which of course carries over into things like the football field, the band, the cheerleaders, things of that nature. So yeah.
Absolutely. And what is the Fight to Five?
Okay, so Flight to Five is our mantra. All right, so where excellence meets opportunity is our motto. Our mantra is Flight to Five. It is our goal. It's what we're focused on this year. It's the highest mark of effectiveness that we can have as a school building, and that's what we're going for. We will reach our goal through the efforts and the strides that we're making. We know that at the end of the year we will be a level 5 school.
That's amazing. And there's a lot of academic offerings at Antioch High School. What are some of those offerings?
So we have 5 academies, starting with our freshman academy. But from there, you can branch out into anything from hospitality and design, automotive, teaching, several other academic offerings. So come to Antioch. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for joining me down here for halftime. And also thank you to Western Kentucky for this educator spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have highlights, stats, a lot more. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
Welcome back to Clarksville High School, hosting Antioch High School, and I'm joined by Clarksville's athletic director, Mr. Shannon Cummings. And thank you so much for hosting us tonight.
Yes, it's a pleasure for you guys to be here at the Clarksville High School.
Absolutely. And tell me about the history. There's a ton of history. I see a sign up there, established 1906, a lot of history here.
Yes, ma'am, 1906. And with that, a lot of great kids. And in fact, when you see around, you see a lot of alumni coming back, their kids. In fact, Coach Shelby, when you look at that, his family played here, coached here. So it's a great tradition when we talk about the students and what they're doing on and off the field. When you look at our student athletes, their GPAs, we have 51 that have a 3.0 or higher, and we have 9 that have a 4.0 on the current team we have right now.
Wow, that's incredible. And I know Bruno up in the booth, he's really proud of that too. Another Clarksville alumni. But you're talking about just how much success these student athletes are having in the classroom. What are you doing to make sure that they succeed, not just only on the field, but in the classroom in the way that they are?
Oh, it takes us all. I mean, it's the students working hard. They're involved in a lot of things, whether it be FCA, a Key Club, National Honor Society, student government, but also the parents. The parents are very supportive and involved. When you come around town, you'll see a lot of local business have partnerships and sponsorships and just going above and beyond to help Clarksville be successful in all aspects, not just on the field, but academically as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for hosting us tonight.
Coming out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again. And thank you again to Western Kentucky for this Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have highlights, stats, a lot more. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
Halftime at Clarksville High School, and the Wildcats lead the undefeated Antioch Bears 18-8 in a pivotal Region 5 6A showdown. We welcome you back to the United States Navy Halftime Report. Lucas Panzica and Bruno Reagan here in the booth, a brand new booth out here at Clarksville High School. Way for the people, Bruno Reagan, Clarksville High School Hall of Famer and former Vanderbilt Commodore. Fun first half. Let's take a look at the highlights as Clarksville is on top by 2 scores and got off to a nice start offensively. Here's the handoff around the edge to DeMarcus Watkins, running it in. The first of 3 touchdowns on the night for the Vandy Target. Antioch had an answer. Andre Adams doing it himself with his legs, leaping in. But then, Bruno, the complimentary football started to come into play. DeMarcus Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the night, and special teams and defense started to make a difference.
Absolutely. I have to imagine Clarksville High School special teams coach Isaac Zilkowski is very pumped up. What I loved about that was all the effort of Ari Galbraith. It looked like he made the contact that forced that fumble on the onside, and then Watkins gets his number called again. He's the backside option on this widespread triple option offense. He has 3 total touchdowns. If there's going to be any player of the game tonight for Clarksville, it might be him. Although, on the defensive side of the football, they are having a lot of success as well.
So Clarksville with a 10-point lead as we look at the first half stats. Only 4 passing yards for the Wildcats in that triple option, but out rushing Antioch 155-12, and they've just had more of the football.
And there's only 6 penalties for Antioch, but those have really just set them behind. I mean, penalties can really kill. They're drive killers. And Antioch, a team that's not used to being in this situation, at least this season, down so low on offensive production and scoring, that you have to imagine, I think most of their coaching points coming out of halftime is going to be more personal rather than schematic. They're not going to say, hey, we have to change here or there or attack here. It's just going to be like, hey guys, we have to mentally lock in. Maybe on the offensive side of the football, really start to hunker down on our pass protection.
Marcus Watkins for Clarksville, our player to watch before the game. 86 total yards and all 3 Clarksville touchdowns. The Wildcats 0 for 3 on their 2-point tries. So far, penalties, a big factor for Antioch, Bruno. 50 yards already racked up by halftime.
Yeah, I mean, that's a half a field and half a football. That's not good. And we've seen it set them back because they're also a go for it on 4th offense. So if they get if they're behind the half line part of the field, they're going to go for it. And that just sets Clarksville up for even better field position. So if they cannot curtail these penalties in these situations, it's going to be a long night. And Clarksville's going to escape with what would be not just a victory, but a dominated victory.
The winner is in the driver's seat in Region 5 6A, heading into the regular season finale, homecoming night at Clarksville, the penultimate game of the 2025 regular season. And it's an Antioch offense that we know can wake up and catch fire at any moment. This one far from over. The Bears will get the football to start things off in the 3rd quarter, and we will have that second half for you in a few minutes. But first, each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we showcase outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country. So let's check out some of the best from last week's action.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Kelly got to quit celebrating and get back ready for a 4th down play.
Yeah, they were trying to hook and ladder, but he didn't have time. They got him to Boyd. They got him to Boyd. That's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown, Jacob Boyd. Inside the 10. What a touchdown. What a play. What in the world? Westwood with a touchdown on a hope and the prayer is answered. What?
Beachy, can he get the corner turn? He does. Here's that speed. And he's still on his feet. To the 20. Stiff arm. To the end zone. Touchdown.
Pump fake. Throws. Goes deep. And what a catch on the far side. Oh, what a catch by Oriuso. They will call it.
Heavy pressure. Throws it downfield to the middle of the field. What a catch. Coming up and grabbing the ball. Maddox.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers, and the Hoover Met goes haywire. Wow! Unbelievable! Wow!
Getting ready for the second half at Clarksville High School. Pivotal Region 5 6A showdown on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572 here on MyTV 30. Glad to have you with us in Week 10. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you. Sammy Kincaid down on the field. We'll hear her catching up with Antioch head coach Arsente Broom right now as we go downstairs.
Coach, obviously not the start that your team's used to getting off to. What did you see from Clarksville's defense that you talked to your offense that you kind of have to work through in this second half?
Man, it's us just working through our own mistakes. That is totally it. You know, they're doing a good job up front. Clarksville is just putting pressure, but, I mean, it's nothing we hadn't seen before. So, you know, we just got to play better, man. That's what that boils down to. We have to play better. There's no excuses for what's going on. We just got to play better. I mean, we've gotten the ball back. Even the times when we probably should have punted, but we didn't. We still caused turnovers. So at the end of the day, that's an Antioch deal, not anything else.
And it kind of leads into the next question. What was the message to the team during halftime? I mean, you kept them out here in the cold. That probably had something to do with it too.
You know, man, just what I said. Just play football. Do what you've been doing. You know, we're capable of playing good football, and right now we're just not playing our best. You know, we've had opportunities. We just haven't we haven't capitalized on those opportunities. That's all we got to do. We have to do our part. We take care of business and handle what we're used to doing and play football like we normally have. We'll be all right. We'll be fine.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sammy. The always calm, cool, and collected Arsente Broom. A heck of a player himself. 1993 grad of Stratford High School, went on to play college football at Tennessee State. This is his third head coaching job in the Mid-State, former John Overton and Maplewood head coach. And his Bears will get the football to start things off in the third quarter. But to Sammy's point, Bruno, 8 points in the first half, not something an offense that's averaged over 54 points in the last 4 games is used to.
Yeah, so there's still an opportunity to get there, but they're going to have to capitalize on every single opportunity. The mistakes can't happen, the penalties, the upfront pressure, they're going to have to deal with it. I love Coach Broom's mindset going into it. That's exactly the thing. Like, sometimes I'll have nightmares. I wake up and I'm back in high school or college. I'm like, no, but if I was playing under that guy, maybe it'd be a little more fun, because I agree with his mindset. It's us. We control everything. And I think for Antioch, that's what they're going to have to get back into if they want to get into this game.
Clarksville quarterback Caden Pledger will have to wait to step back out onto the field after an excellent first half from the Wildcats, winning in time of possession and total yardage. But Antioch, with that explosive offense, will get the ball first here. Before we kick things off, let's go back down to Sammy for an injury update.
Hey guys, for the Bartram Injury Law injury update, good news is that it has stayed the same since the beginning of the game. The only player that is out tonight is Rashad Glenn for Antioch. He's out with a hurt knee that he injured in Week 1. That's your Bartram Injury Law injury update. Back to you.
Thanks, Sammy. So Antioch will get it back. Junior quarterback Andre Adams, who has had an unbelievable season. Over 3,000 total yards, now 40 total touchdowns, only 1 interception, Bruno. In the first half, Adams 8 of 14 for 108 yards and 1 rushing score. What do you think Antioch needs to do more of here in this second half to come alive a little bit on offense?
Well, it's been a breakdown of pressure that's forced Adams out of the pocket, not him moving on his own. I think whenever he has 3 to 4 seconds to kind of work through his reads, I thought his receivers did an okay job when they have the explosive opportunity, but they're really failing on the quick passes over the middle and the passes on the flat. They have to convert these shorter yard passes to set up their big ones and set themselves up, because they're a 4-down football team too. So anytime you want to give them an advantage. As we take a look at the numbers for the night, you see right there, 8 of 14. It's not like it's a bad night. It's just not the Mr. Football front runner that we've expected up to this point.
Well, he is a very mature player, even as just a junior. Andre Adams has led this team all year. His coaching staff can't say enough about his football IQ. And as you see him next to his dad there, Antioch offensive coordinator Andre Adams, a former Antioch quarterback in his own right. It is a family affair for the Adams at Antioch High School. And they're going to try to kickstart the offense in the third quarter, but they've been running into some issues with the Clarksville pressure, Bruno, bringing heat or the Wildcats, was a big factor in that first half.
Yep, Max Cunningham, one of the big numbers being called on the defensive side of the football. Him and Dawson Smith early also, as we take a look at Adams just being curtailed. There's Smith, the leader of this Clarksville backfield out of the linebacking position. Just such a good job. And then a lot of supporting cast moving around. It's just been a bunch of purple jerseys in the Antioch backfield, not giving Adams any room to work with his legs. Adams has done a good job. As you can see, he keeps his eyes down the field. But I'm just afraid for Antioch that's going to turn into turnovers here in the second half if they don't get it together.
Special teams has been a factor. Clarksville attempted 2 onside kicks in the first half. Antioch having to account for it in the way they're lined up. On kickoff return, Owen Richards, though, will kind of pooch it down to the 30, and this time it'll roll out of bounds. And Antioch will have good starting field position. Clarksville done a nice job keeping it away from dangerous Antioch returners. But this time, it will give Antioch the ball on their own 35.
Some dynamic coaching there. I saw earlier during one of the kicks that went closer to the end zone that Coach Shelby and Coach Ozzy Zolkowski were talking about it, and I see that they're targeting that part of the field. It was just an inch away from maybe being recoverable for Clarksville. It does roll out, though.
So the Bears come out to start the second half. A lot to play for at the top of the Region 5 standings in Class 6A here in Week 10. To throw on first down, Adams has his younger brother Aiden, who powers through for the first down. Nice start to the drive for the freshman pass catcher.
Just a freshman playing at this level of varsity football. Such an impressive thing. He's gotten a little beat up earlier in this game. We saw him come up slow, but starting the second half fast.
Screen it out to Aiden Adams again. Has blockers. Flag is down as he jets into Clarksville territory.
Looked like it might have been holding that was committed on Avari Galbraith from the Antioch side of the football.
$50 yards of penalties against Antioch in the first half, and this could tack onto that here on the opening drive of the second.
Turn to play, blocking the back, offense.
We'll back it up. All will be marked down at the 39.
Yeah, you saw that on the top of your screen of already putting his hand up, claiming he was blocked in the back, and you can see that hand on the back of his neck. So contact on the shoulder squarely is okay, but not on the back plate.
1st and 17 after the spot foul. Pump faking the screen as Adams goes over the middle. Wanted his younger brother Aiden, and it falls incomplete. Andre Adams and Aiden both taking big hits on that play. And it will bring up 3rd and long.
Looks like the Clarksville secondary didn't know where the football was, and they made contact with Aiden Adams before he could get to the spot. I was interested to see if they were going to call pass interference on that or not, but no flag down.
Correction, 2nd and long. There's Kenny Adams, offensive coordinator, father of both Andre and Aiden. Wonder what those conversations are like around the dinner table.
I'd have to imagine they're about one topic only.
That screen is dropped by Galladay. Wasn't going much of anywhere to begin with, and now it is 3rd and 17. What is Clarksville doing so well to leave Antioch just a little bit out of sorts offensively, Bruno? This is a team that last time they were on the field, they put up 64 points in a shootout win over FRA.
Well, Clarksville's doing a good job with their 3-down offense, dialing up penalties, but I think Coach Broom was right where it's more of an Antioch issue, too. I mean, we see another penalty. They had 6 coming out of the half, now tallying on to 7, getting them in this backwards position, and Clarksville just does a good job of covering on the midfield.
They've shown they can pick it up in these situations. Over the middle, wide open. And having the first down across the 40 and out of bounds is Khalil Ferguson. And it has happened multiple times tonight. Antioch digging into a hole with penalties and then digging out with that passing attack.
And the difference there was protection. Adams had time in the pocket to set his feet, eye down, let his routes go up and throw. So if they can give him any sort of time and let him use his legs to get down the field, they're going to be able to convert.
25 yards into BMC Metalworks. First down for Khalil Ferguson. So Antioch on the move. Adams flares it out to the left side. It's caught by Thomas. Short of the sticks. But it will get Antioch ahead of the chains with a 7-yard gain on first down.
Once again, just getting enough protection, able for Andre to get back, set his feet, and get the ball out to Thomas. Listed as a tight end, but when you're in a 5-man spread team, that's typically just the big man on the inside, the slot player.
Adams, wide open man. It's Galladay who steps out of bounds. But they will certainly try to get Brandon Galladay the football a lot more. That's his third catch for 22 yards for a guy who's got over 1,200 receiving yards on the season, 15 touchdowns.
And for as frustrating as a game as has been for Antioch, I mean, they go down and score here and they convert their 2-point. They're only down by 2, so it's really not as lopsided as one would think if you've seen the first half.
Adams faces pressure again. Able to spin out and lob it down the sideline, incomplete.
Trying to go to Thomas again, and a rare overshot there by Adams. Thomas was wide open after escaping from the pressure. I think he just threw it a little early instead of tracking his movement. Yeah, if there's no pressure there, I mean, Thomas is wide open. Looked like a design blitz there off the edge for Clarksville, so the gamble does pay off to force a second and long, but Adams will take 3 more shots at the least to convert this.
On the play action, more heat on Adams. This time it drops him. Nate Parada has really emerged at that linebacker spot. A smaller player, but sheer willpower. He gets off blocks and he gets home.
Caden Binkley, too, has been just a dominant force in the middle. He's forcing Adams to the edges of the pocket where Parada has just done such a good job of curl-tailing and following where Adams is going to be, not where he's at. I mean, the Clarksville D-line, we don't have a unit of the game award, but this defensive front has been absolutely massive.
Once again, Clarksville in a 3rd and long, needing 16 yards. They will have 2 plays to get it. Adams spins out of pressure again and is able to escape a big loss, but just barely gets back to the 25. And here comes 4th down for Antioch. Dawson Smith making the stop again. And it's 4th and 15. Arcente Broom and this Antioch coaching staff off to the best start for the Bears since 1963. A win tonight would make them 9-0 for the first time in school history. Got to come back to do it. And on 4th and 15, Adams backtracking, spun down and sacked. Dawson Smith having a monster night. It's a hat trick of sacks for the senior, and Clarksville takes over on downs.
When you have someone as mobile as Adams, everyone wants to play so safe. Watch, he absolutely rockets into the backfield. This Dawson Smith, the leader of this back defensively for Clarksville. You can see the team 119 doing the legacy proud. Over 100 years of football here in Clarksville. Dawson Smith just showing some rare explosiveness.
Clarksville's offense is back on the field. Going up the middle on first down. And that time it is Caden Pledger, the quarterback. And Dawson Smith. Talk about high-pressure environments. And tonight is one for Clarksville. They can clinch a region title with a win. This is a guy that's used to that. Plays basketball, is a pitcher on the Clarksville baseball team that made it all the way to the state championship last year. Pitched in that state championship game. And it was a loss to a East Tennessee side in Farragut, but he's no stranger to the big moment. And tonight is that. He's stepping up in a huge way.
Something I always loved about Coach Shelby, he encourages these guys to go out and play other sports, always be in a competitive setting.
And they give it to Smith here. You can forgive him for being a little slow to get up. That's the other thing about a lot of these guys, Bruno. Literally not leaving the field after sacking the quarterback. Grabbing a handoff a couple plays later. Already 6 sacks, 41 total yards lost by Antioch in this game. Smith has 3 of them.
Those are such rare and impressive numbers at the high school level. On the one hand, you can say that their matchup has mattered, but I think the effort is just the determining factor for Clarksville.
Power run up the middle. That time with Ellington leading the charge, and it's a BMC Metalworks first down for the Wildcats. Just barely into Antioch territory. So Clarksville going back to work with that run game, chewing clock. They had the time of possession advantage in the first half by 3 minutes. Up the middle, Galbraith. As they continue to churn through these ball carriers. That's a positive gain. Picks up 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 for a Clarksville team seeking a 7th consecutive win.
Gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 4.
What a turnaround for Clarksville after early season losses. Their first game of the year to Blackman, then to Springfield, to almost running the table with a chance to clinch their region tonight.
Back up the middle. The misdirection from the Wildcats results in another first down carry as DeMarcus Watkins gets a turn. BMC Metalworks chain mover for the senior who had 3 first half touchdowns. And you mentioned that slow start. Really was the kind of adversity that Isaac Shelby was looking for when he scheduled Blackman and Springfield to start the season. As you see Watkins' numbers, 87 yards, 3 total touchdowns. Galbraith gets stopped, 1-yard pickup on first down. But it's the Clarksville program that, as you know, went undefeated in the regular season in 2023 and 2024. Both of those seasons resulted in one-and-done efforts in the playoffs, losing to West Tennessee teams. And Isaac Shelby said, we got to do something different here. So we went and scheduled Blackman and Springfield, 2 powerhouse programs in Middle Tennessee, hoping it would prepare his team a little bit better for those late season battles. And here's Clarksville after that 0-2 start, seeking a 7th straight win. As Pledger goes up the middle.
Yeah, Blackman having a great season. Springfield, one of the top 4, I would assume, 4A schools in the state, also having a great season. So Clarksville getting that early competition. They're just so physical out there right now. I was interested to see how they keep up this physicality through 4 quarters. It's going well.
3rd and 7. Let's go downstairs to Sammy Kincaid.
Hey guys, one of the guys on that gang tackle right there was number 3, Kenneth Williams Jr. He moved from running back to defensive line, and Coach told us that he didn't want to make the move. Coach Broom had a talk with Kenneth about finding out how he could help the team, and Coach said to him, do you want to contribute? Coach brought up a guy that he played with at Stratford that was a 5'5" running back, and they turned him into a defensive tackle, and he was a monster. Coach told us Kenneth is strong. He's a wrestler. He has leverage. He's really stepped up, and he's now one of the lead tacklers for the Antioch team.
Yeah, thanks, Sammy. That was a great story that Arcente Broom told us earlier this week. He's become a game changer for the Bears, but to your point, Bruno, right now, Clarksville winning that battle up front. And the 3rd and 2 carry is stopped just short. Galbraith, the ball carrier that time. And Clarksville will actually pick up the first down. They'll adjust the spot and move the chains. Presented by BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, celebrating over 50 years of excellence. Watkins, this time thrown down in the backfield. Darius Denton. He makes his presence felt, the junior. Fielding an offer from Miami of Ohio so far in his high school career. That's his 5th TFL of the year.
I don't think we've called an Antioch name all night on defense, but Darius Denton making maybe the first of what could be many important stops as we get to the late third and fourth quarters for Antioch. This Clarksville offense has been operating at a pretty decent level, controlling time of possession. Not too many points on the board, but it's gone their way so far. But TFLs like that will make it super hard for Clarksville, who isn't as naturally explosive as Antioch.
It loses 5. So Pledger will throw. Deep down the middle, nearly intercepted. Aiden Adams almost looked like he wasn't ready for it. And it's 3rd and 15.
One of those on-the-spot balls as a defender, it just pops up right in front of you, and you're just not ready for it at the current moment. So you can see a little bit of the frustration there by the freshman. Clarksville facing 3rd and long nonetheless.
Trying to keep this drive alive. Chew up some more clock with the 10-point lead. Pledger screens it to Galbraith, and Antioch reads it well. It is Dominic Hamer, a strong safety, TFL, and it is 4th and forever for the Wildcats. Key spot here for Clarksville. We've seen one pooch punt already tonight from quarterback Caden Pledger. And on 4th and 17, let's see if we get another one here. Looks like we will. Boots a line drive that rolls down to the 1. And Clarksville's falling on it as though an Antioch player got a touch. It will be Antioch football. Special teams popping up again for Clarksville as they lead by 10 and pin Antioch deep. The Bears get it back, looking to put together some first downs, down by 10 late in the 3rd. Happy to be here at Clarksville High School on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals. Presented by UA Local 572. There's our Sammy Kincaid alongside Shannon Cummings, assistant principal here at Clarksville High. Been doing it a long time here in this building. Since the 1960s, they've played football here on Hilda J. Richardson Field. Clarksville has put out a team for almost 120 years. And here in week 10 of the 2025 season, the Wildcats are a win away from clinching a region title, but Antioch marooned on their own 1. Trying to have something to say about that as Andre Adams under center just wants some breathing room up the middle. So what can Antioch be doing differently here to pop some of those big plays that they've hung their hat on all season?
Well, they keep having those chances. I feel like a team like Antioch, they live in that sort of controlled chaos. I mean, we saw in that last series where Adams was able to roll out and he had Tim Thomas open on the left hash, like about 10 yards away from the end zone. They're just not able to complete these passes that they, in normal circumstances, they've been able to do.
Adams, left side, completes. Thomas across the 10, tackled by Acree. We're inside a minute to go in the third. That's a pickup of 8, third and short. This is an Antioch team whose lowest point total of the year is 24, and that was all the way back in week 1. And here they are as we approach the fourth with only one score on the night, a touchdown run by Andre Adams plus a 2-point conversion. Quick pass over the middle, it's tipped up. And it brings up 4th and 2 for an Antioch team that does not punt. And this feels like a huge play for Antioch as they'll look to pick up the first down and risk giving it back to Clarksville inside the 15 unless they do bring out the special teams unit here.
I feel like we're seeing a unicorn fly through the air right now. Getting ready to watch. I can't believe I'm stunned that a team is deciding to punt it from their own 11, but I am. I genuinely am.
So they will trot out Fred Toomba to boot it away. Or maybe not. Timeout on the field. Antioch takes their first one of the half, and they're going to discuss this 4th and 2. Down by 10 on the road in Week 10 on MyTV 30. Ready for the start or the end of the third quarter here at Clarksville High School. The Wildcats lead the Antioch Bears by 10, but first we remind you that Fridays at 9:30 or after college football, Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live is on the air, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Make sure to catch the biggest plays, the best hits. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick brings the highlights, scores, and plenty more for high school football action across the mid-state. Fridays at 9:30 or after college football, Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust, who we'd like to take a moment to thank for tonight's financial tips. 4th and 2, Antioch going inside their own 15. Adams up the middle, and he's got the first down. Antioch brought out the punt team, took a timeout, and came back out with the offense, and they moved the chains.
I was happy to see them just design a run for it, not let Adams get two in an uncontrolled situation just because it hasn't worked out for them. So they designed something for him just to secure this first down. Now that will bring an end to our third quarter. It doesn't look like they're going to get this snap off.
Antioch down 2 scores on the road. An offense that has been lights out all season, running into some roadblocks here at Clarksville. But they've got 12 minutes to try and dig out of it in a pivotal Region 5 showdown in the 6A class on MyTV 30. Ready for the final quarter at Clarksville, but next week, stay with us for a Thursday night edition of Friday Night Rivals. It's the Battle of the Borough. Undefeated Oakland takes on Riverdale for the regular season finale. Can't wait. Hope you're there on My TV 30 Sports next Thursday, October 30th. Well, we've got a big one to finish out here in Region 5 6A. Clarksville with a chance to clinch a Region 5 6A title if they can win. Antioch scoreless since the first quarter. Inside their own 20. Quick pass, Galladay trying to get him going down the sideline. And the senior is across the 40. Bart Durham injury law, first down for Brandon Galladay. The senior receiver having a monster year. And he's been limited so far tonight, but pops one there. Ball spotted on the 38. Pickup of 24. Here's Andre Adams with the quarterback keeper and nothing. 2nd and 10.
Once again, Dawson Smith with the contact on Adams right at the line of scrimmage.
Gain on the carry. 2nd and 10.
Look at Coach Broom trying to find a way to dig his team out of this hole. You heard the accountability he expects out of his players. Well, they find themselves down 2 scores in the fourth quarter.
Adams down the field. It's broken up. Incomplete. He was looking for Ferguson, and it was broken up by Acree.
What a ball by Adams. It is perfectly dropped right over the shoulder, and you can see it just deflects off of the hand of Ferguson right back into his helmet. You can see the frustration. Could have been the shot that they needed to get the momentum back on their side that we're used to seeing. This is an Antioch team that totally unexpected outing so far this game.
3rd and 10. Adams rolling in trouble and now has some grasp, but instead floats it and it's incomplete. Looked like he had an opportunity to run for the first down, but opted for the bigger play, and it brings up 4th and 10.
The game is starting to devolve a little bit into some backyard football mindset. It's easy to watch the ball and who the ball carrier is going, but if you watch the rest of the field, it's just absolute chaos out there. No sense of protection, man or slide side. It's just every man for himself, and Andre Adams is out there running for his life.
4th and 10. If anybody can dig Antioch out of this hole, it's Andre Adams with the season he's had. And now he will tuck and run, trying to outrun Smith, who swipes at him. And did he get him down before the line to gain? Oh, it's going to be close. He might have just enough. It looks like they're going to rule him just short. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, the sideline judge, you can see the ball land. Yeah, and that spot's right. So the sideline judge spotted him ahead of the sticks, but the middle of the field judge spotted it correctly behind the sticks, and they go with the middle of the field judge calling. An absolutely game-changing stop by Dawson Smith. Could be our stop of the game right there. Not a sack, but a 4th down stop with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. While up 2 scores, could be a game-sealing stop, and you can see right there giving his respects, Dawson Smith with another. We have 2 legacy games going on at Hilda J. Richardson Field right now.
Massive, massive play by the senior linebacker. And once again, Clarksville takes over on downs. Flags are down.
Prior to the snap, I'll start on offense.
And that'll back it up. But here Clarksville can go to work with another time-consuming drive. And this is just new territory this season for the Antioch Bears, Bruno. For the first time all year, they've been held scoreless in back-to-back quarters of football.
You can see Coach Broom trying to get his team back into the middle. A lot of plays tonight from the Clarksville and Antioch side. Stay tuned for our Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game coming up later this quarter.
Right up the middle, Ellington. Stopped short of midfield. Picks up a couple. Second down.
It's time for the Antioch defense to once again step up. Their team down 2 scores with the clock going down. They are explosive. At any point they can score, but odds favoring Clarksville with every second down on the clock. An early penalty does give them an option in a TFL, or a 1-yard stop. Setting them up with a good position right here from the defensive standpoint. Take a look at Coach Isaac Shelby. He was fired up going into halftime with his team's performance. Now in his more stoic demeanor, waiting for the result.
Looking for his 75th win as Clarksville head coach. Go on the ground. Again, Clarksville crowd wanting a flag as DeMarcus Watkins gets a give. And there is a flag down, a potential horse collar here on Antioch.
They're going to call that on number 6, Braden True, calling it a horse collar. And you can see the visible frustration from the entire Antioch defense.
Things are just unraveling here for the Bears. Mike Artis and his team going over it. Looked like maybe it was a fistful of jersey there.
Yeah, horse collar is when the fingers get inside of that padding right there and then restrict neck movement that's potentially dangerous. But a jersey grab, I think that's the correct call right there. You want to see no flag on the play. Watch right here closely. The tackle on Watkins on the backside, and that is a jersey there. I don't see a finger inside of the jersey or the padding, so that's a good pickup of the flag right there. 3rd and about 8.
In the old days, that thing would have just torn right off and Watkins would still be running. They go right back to him. Watkins already got 3 scores on the night. Up and running down the sideline. Make it 4. 45 yards and a South College touchdown as Clarksville starts to run away with it behind Jamarcus Watkins.
I mean, he already had a hat trick. What do you even call for? Put a feather in the hat? I don't know. Jamarcus Watkins and Dawson Smith are 2 individuals making it so hard for us to determine who our player of the game will be if Clarksville comes away with the win, which they just might. They're putting Antioch in unseen territory this season.
Play is blown dead before Pledger can initiate the 2-point try. Uh-oh, hot mic.
You see a little smile from our white hat there.
We've all been there.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you. Trying to sort out this penalty.
Defense.
There'll be offsides on the defense. Everyone take a look at how many microphones are on our white hat right there. Of course he can't turn them all off.
Look, we always have to put the asterisk. They've got a tough job down there. It's even tougher when you're trying to figure out what mic to turn off.
Yeah, he's the iRobot right there. He's the human. He's the human RoboCop.
Mike Artis and his crew done a great job tonight. And they'll kick the extra point for the first time tonight, will Clarksville. Owen Richards boots it through. He's had a really nice night on special teams. A couple of onside kick tries, 1 converted. His extra point is good. And Clarksville leads 25-8, 9.5 minutes away from clinching a region title on homecoming.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
9.5 minutes to play, and Clarksville has had control. And they may have just blown this game open with a 45-yard touchdown scamper by Jamarcus Watkins, his 4th score of the night. And it's a 25-8 homecoming lead for the Clarksville Wildcats. A win tonight would mark a 7th straight for Clarksville and a region title, clinching the 1 seed in Region 5 6A and home field advantage in the postseason. Antioch will get back the football, and the Bears just stunned. A group that's come in on fire offensively and held scoreless since the first quarter. Owen Richards, the Clarksville kicker, will scoop it up in the air again, and this time it's fair caught, and that's going to draw a penalty.
Smart play by Antioch right there for the fair catch. It draws the penalty. Very smart football.
Jalen Fisher. Correction, Adrian Watts, the junior.
Because I see the coaching point for Clarksville. You want to go down and make that contact, but very rarely do you expect that onside fair catch.
Hey, personal foul, kick catch interference, kicking team.
So that'll mark Antioch into Clarksville territory. 9:31 to go. An offense that has been bottled up since that first quarter. And an impressive defensive effort so far for Clarksville. But now, this dangerous offense gets it on the +40 with a chance to cut it down to 2 scores. Adams with a strike over the middle. Flag is down as Ferguson runs across the 20, and he's out of bounds in the red zone. Clarksville defenders dropping very deep. And Ferguson is all alone underneath. We'll catch the penalty here. Penalties, a big theme of the night here in Week 10.
On the defense, that penalty is declined. We'll have first down.
Well, it will be a 23-yard pickup, and Antioch is in business.
Antioch currently down 3 scores. That's assuming they convert the 2-point conversions as well. That will change the way they attack, or not, because they are a 4-down, no-kicking team. It might just need to be 3 touchdowns to get back into it.
If anybody can lead a comeback like that, it's Andre Adams with the season he's had. 40 total touchdowns, only 1 interception. For a 6A Mr. Football contender, he's got 217 yards in the air on 16 of 28 passing. Adams on the play action. Rifles it into the end zone, looking for his brother Aiden, incomplete. I mean, you just have to credit Clarksville for how they've changed the narrative of this game, Bruno. We came in expecting a shootout. That if you're going to beat Antioch, you probably got to score at least 40. And the Wildcats have just completely changed the way this game has been played.
And you could argue that you want that to be more on the chest at the high school level, but in the college level, these are very great throws by Andre Adams. There's just been a lack of precision on their conversion.
Looping it over the top and a little too strong. Again, looking for Aiden Adams, who will scamper off into the woods to chase after that football.
Probably in the back of Antioch's offensive mind that they have to at least take incompletions at this point. Sacks, with how much of a deficit they're at, anytime the clock runs, it is just so devastating for them. They need to stop it at all costs. So no sacks, even rushes up the middle can be something you want to avoid.
Clarksville has sacked Andre Adams 6 times on the night. 3rd and 10. Feels like a gotta-have-it drive for the Bears. Under pressure is Adams, and incomplete over the middle again, looking for Ferguson. Couldn't reel it in. 4th and 10. And that pressure continues to flush out Andre Adams. An undefeated season on the line for Antioch. 8-0 for the first time in 60 years.
All the 4th downs have just been so long, except for 1 or 2 of them. 4th and 10.
Adams under pressure, escapes it, and now he goes down. The 7th sack of the game for this Clarksville defense, and Bryson Ellington joins in on the fun. And it's a turnover on downs. Antioch comes up empty.
2 captains. You can see Bryson Ellington, and then at the very end, Max Cunningham finishing off. And just such a... This is not the way me and Lucas expected this game to go down. Clarksville has dominated on all phases. Antioch has gotten in their own way. And while there have been a few explosive plays, it's still a good night statistically for Andre Adams. Clarksville has controlled the entire pace of this game.
Isaac Shelby told us this week, Andre Adams is the best quarterback that he's coached against in 20 years of coaching. And his defense has held a Bears offense that has averaged over 43 points per game to 1 score, as we've got nearly 8.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
When you get in deficits like this, too, so many people, you're not as willing to get headfirst into a pile at this point, offensively and defensively.
Caden Farrow, who was in on that last sack, maybe helped produce our stop of the game. We'll tell you what it was in the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Clarksville can really just get into clock milking mode here. Stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Remember to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. I'll tell you what that is shortly. DeMarcus Watkins hasn't stopped picking up big plays tonight. Chopped down across the 25. And that is a pickup of 5 for Watkins, who is up to 137 rush yards on the evening. 4 total touchdowns. We came in talking about this Antioch offense, its big playability, and DeMarcus Watkins said, I've got something for you tonight.
4 total touchdowns, all of the Clarksville scores.
Happy to run it down here as quarterback Caden Pledger on 3rd and 5. Trying to get a jump was Evan Davis.
Those are just mistakes that single play has encapsulated what we've seen this entire game. I mean, just situations where it's must-have for both teams, and Antioch shoots itself in the foot.
And that'll give Clarksville a first down. 9 penalties for 70 yards against Antioch.
3 more downs. That motion, pulling them off sides. And a guaranteed 3 more downs of clock going all the way. Clarksville, in theory, could finish this game with the ball, running down 9 minutes of clock.
$15 seconds on the play clock. And they'll use most of that. With a 25-8 lead. Avari Galbraith just battling his way to 40. He's had a really nice night. This Clarksville rushing attack. That gives him 55 yards on 12 carries. And an Antioch player slow to get up.
So physical as Galbraith, able to keep his feet there. So impressive to finish that. That's Kenneth Williams Jr. down, the senior running back and linebacker for Antioch.
So as they tend to Williams Jr., we'll take a break. And Clarksville looks to see out a 25-8 lead in a region title in Week 10 on MyTV 30. Fridays at 9:30 are after college football. Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust, will bring you the biggest plays, the best hits. As Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick gives you highlight scores and much more from high school football action across the Mid-State. Fridays at 9:30 or after college football. Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Kenneth Williams Jr., the defensive lineman, helped off the field. Been a difference maker for Antioch all season. Certainly hope he's okay, as Clarksville, with a 25-8 lead, has a chance to run out some clock here in one of the more impressive performances defensively in Middle Tennessee all season. To bottle up an Antioch offense that, as we've talked about, Bruno, has averaged over 54 points in their last 4 games.
Bell-cowed by Dawson Smith and Max Cunningham up at the front. A dominant performance as this Clarksville offense is going to let the clock roll down and try and call it game.
Vibes are good on homecoming night here at Hilda J. Richardson Field, the old stomping grounds of one Bruno Reagan, Clarksville High Hall of Famer. Up here with me in the booth, I'm Lucas Panzica, Sammy Kincaid downstairs, as Dawson Smith gets a carry around the edge, and the senior runs through a tackle as the flag goes down.
A few flags, but I think they're all going to be in the area of offensive holding. I saw the back judge throw it about 30 yards.
That will be the call against the Wildcats. So Clarksville, with this win, can clinch the Region 5 6A title, pick up a 7th consecutive win and a chance out to finish the regular season with an 8th straight win right here at home against Cane Ridge on senior night. Meanwhile, Antioch, barring something miraculous here, will pick up their first loss of the season and look to bounce back on the road, not far from where we are right here, as they go to Rossview High School. A good football team, Bruno, who's 4-1 in region play this year.
Absolutely. Rossview kept themselves in the race all the way down to the last weeks of the season. But Clarksville, with a chance to clinch tonight, both them and Antioch undefeated, but Clarksville already having the head-to-head, the first criteria against Rossview, meaning that they can clinch even with the loss to Cane Ridge next week, and everyone ending up out with one loss.
The penalties moving Clarksville backwards here on a potential game-clinching drive.
So much ground to cover. Count that out, Lucas. 10, 20, 25, about 25 yards first down.
Here's the region standings once again coming into tonight. And Can't say enough about the job Isaac Shelby has done at his alma mater. All-time winningest coach in his 12th season here at Clarksville High School. And to be the all-time winner at a school that's been playing football for almost 120 years, quite an achievement for Coach Shelby.
He did it relatively fast, too. He knocked it out of the park.
Marcus Watkins has knocked it out of the park tonight with 4 total touchdowns across the 30 as he's brought down. Second and long is upcoming. 2 timeouts for Antioch.
But the score deficit just might be too much. And you got to remember, Antioch is going to also try and convert on 2-point conversions, which could change the trajectory of how they even get to attack a potential third score. But 4 minutes on the clock and still more downs of football for Clarksville in this offensive series. If they convert this, it might as well be a ball game.
Would wrap up their 3rd consecutive region title, a first in school history. Up the middle, Galbraith dodging tacklers up to the 40 as he gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Clarksville player is down behind the play. And slow to get up. That's the left guard, Caden Binkley. Brings up 3rd and 11 as the clock continues to run inside 3.5 minutes.
Binkley was also a force on defense up in the middle from that nose guard position. Part of that extremely impressive front 6, I think you could call on Clarksville's defensive formation. That'll be one happy man right there, head coach Isaac Shelby.
You went up against him a few times when he was the head coach at Clarksville Northeast, and you were playing here at Clarksville High School.
Also went up against one of your legends, Jalen Reeves-Maben, and they were very good back then. He took a Clarksville Northeast team all the way to the semifinal. They finished that season 5-5, and then made it all the way in a 5A classification. So you had to know Coach Shelby was a legit contender. Clarksville had to scoop him away.
Yeah, that was back in 2013, that semifinal run. That's the kind of run Clarksville is trying to put together this year in 6A. So as we pause here for a timeout, take a look at our stop of the game.
This is the School Bus Stop of the Game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
And it's Andre Adams just a few plays ago. A shoestring tackle by Dawson Smith on a 4th and 10 that would have kept a critical drive alive for Antioch, and Clarksville took over. And Dawson Smith has been a wrecking ball all night long.
This is the School Bus Stop of the Game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Smith has a hand in 3 of Clarksville's 7 sacks tonight, Bruno. That might have been his most impressive play of the game.
Yeah, and it's not going to pop up as a sack, but that effort on the backside, that caused a turnover where Antioch was in not a must-score situation, but definitely something where if you had to give it percentages, maybe from a 60% chance to come back to essentially like a 20. It was such a big, decisive factor in the second half, so definitely want to highlight Dawson Smith and his effort tonight.
Major leader for this team. There's another pooch punt from Pledger. Get it back to Antioch, and this one will roll inside the 10. I'll tell you what, Carter Pledger, or Caden Pledger, rather, has pretty impressive on the special teams front as well with those pooch punts all game.
It's like hitting 4 green lights in a row, how lucky it is to get a ball to roll like that. Maybe not luck, maybe it's skill. Maybe
yeah,
Pledger's found out the key to the pooch punt.
So now Antioch will just try to avoid going scoreless for 3 consecutive quarters. Again, something that just felt unfathomable for how this offense has played this year.
We were talking to some of the Clarksville coaches before the game, and we were talking about Andre Adams and how explosive and dynamic he is, and they were like, hey, look, he's going to find the end zone. We have to come up ourselves, but they've just done such a great job tonight.
He's tangled down. Caden Farrow getting to him. And you can just see the talent on Andre Adams. And really the incredible thing is he hasn't made the sort of mistakes tonight that you would typically associate with a low-scoring performance like this. As he fires it out into the flat. It's a short gain for Cameron Franklin. But it's really been about the Clarksville front just being dominant, Bruno, with Antioch's offensive struggles.
Absolutely. I think this game comes down to Antioch's offensive front versus Clarksville's defensive front, the amount of pressure they got. I know Coach wanted to emphasize that, hey, we have to take accountability, but Clarksville just did such a good job with their physicality. I don't think that was something that Antioch has seen up to this point.
Adams 17 of 32 for 224 yards, no turnovers as he completes an 18th pass to Khalil Ferguson. And Antioch is a team that nobody will want to face despite this game tonight. Moving forward, don't let it discredit the job that Arsente Broom has done in turning this program around. Inheriting an 0-10 team, taking it to its first winning season in over a decade last year, and then getting off to an 8-0 start, something that hasn't happened at Antioch in over 60 years. So Clarksville knocking on the door of a region title here with just over 90 seconds left. Let's take a look at our play of the game presented by the Tennessee Army National Guard. And we're going to special teams. This made a big difference in the first half. Owen Richards on the second onside attempt of the night. This time he scooped it up, and this time Clarksville recovered.
Good contact there by Vari Galbra, too, to allow his team to recover. And I was so adamant about this kick being our play of the game. One, because it was in such a key moment. And two, because it was something we hadn't seen up to this point, that high kick.
(25-8), Clarksville set to win a 7th straight game. Oakland looking to win a 10th straight game and complete an undefeated regular season next Thursday. We head to Murfreesboro for the Battle of the Borough. Always a thriller between Riverdale and Oakland, one of the most storied rivalries in Middle Tennessee. Can't wait. Hope you're with us on a Thursday night edition of the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Whole crew will be there as Andre Adams rolls and completes to Thomas.
But that sort of play is going to keep the clock going. Antioch going to try and move fast onto the ball. No first down, no clock stoppage. Or excuse me, they're actually going to move the chains. Interesting call.
Adams throws as he's falling down and completes to Galladay. There's a flag on the field right around midfield. What a play by Andre Adams. Was almost down on one knee as he launched that football to his favorite target, who has not had the kind of game that Antioch fans have grown accustomed to watching from number one all season.
On the defense, decline, results of play, first down.
So that will pick up a big chunk for Antioch here. Just over a minute to go. That's a 33-yard gain. And brings Galladay up to 79 yards. Another player that Clarksville coach Isaac Shelby couldn't say enough good things about, calling Brandon Galladay the best player at receiver that he's coached against since the likes of Josh Malone and Van Jefferson in Middle Tennessee. Dump it down to Adrian Watts now.
Watts not able to get out of bounds. Going to be a lot of clock coming off the field. Have to imagine we'll see either an incompletion or a shot at the end zone. One of the two, or else we could see the end of this game.
Antioch had an 8-6 lead at the end of the first quarter. Clarksville with 19 unanswered points and what will be a 7th consecutive win for the Wildcats. Adams scrambles out for a Bart Durham injury law first down. Just under 30 seconds. Antioch playing to the final buzzer. Homecoming celebration is on here at Clarksville High School. Hard to believe that we're on the cusp of the last game of the 2025 regular season. Always flies by. Under pressure again, Adams evades an 8th sack by the Clarksville defense and turns it into positive yardage, but with no timeouts. Antioch may have 1 or 2 plays left to try and get into the end zone. Rolling, floating, incomplete and into the woods, and the clock will go ahead and run out here at Clarksville High. Region 5 6A champions with the 7th straight win. Clarksville wins at home. The final score 25-8 over Antioch. Now both teams are coming back to the sideline. They may go ahead and put some time back on the clock.
The referees are signaling. Remember, we don't go on the clock of the TV or the clock of the scoreboard. We're going to go on the clock on the referees, and they will bring this back. There were 2. The clock did run off. It looked like one of those, hey, we're going to get out of here, but the referees will officiate properly.
Yeah, ball did fall incomplete with a couple of seconds left. So Antioch will have at least another chance to get into the end zone. It is the correct call here by Mike Artis. 2 seconds back on the clock. And a chance for Antioch to avoid 3 quarters of scoreless football. Adams. Left side of the end zone, overshoots his man. Was looking for Cameron Franklin, and there is a flag down. So once again, the celebration starts at Clarksville, and once again, they'll be sent back to the sideline.
This is kind of humorous. I don't mind this at all. We brought the circus here to Clarksville High School, and we're going to continue it to the final 1, 2, 3 whistles, dang it.
There is nothing wrong with a little bit of weirdness on Friday Night Rivals. Tough night for Antioch, but you can see the talent with Andre Adams and the offers that he's fielding from the likes of Vanderbilt, who we've mentioned, Arkansas, Colorado, Georgia Tech, Cincinnati, among others. He still has a whole other year in this Antioch offense to continue to develop and make some noise in the mid-state.
I'm so glad you mentioned that he has time.
We have 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. We have live ball pass interference on the defense. We have dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense.
So they'll give him one more play.
Potentially. Who knows? Maybe there's another unsportsmanlike. We just want to keep you on your toes here on My TV 30 Friday Night Rivals. Clarksville will clinch the region championship.
So Antioch will get it inside the 5 for some consolation points.
Trying to get shut out for 3 straight quarters. Clarksville player runs onto the field, and another one runs off.
Adams playing to the final whistle. Last play of the game. Flag is down.
Gotcha.
How many more times will we snap this football? Look, credit to Mike Artis and his crew. They're not letting the score or the situation affect how they officiate the football game.
Guys, gotta back up. They can still call a penalty, guys. Back up. Back up behind the white. Step over it, dummy. Don't step on it.
This Clarksville crowd is eager to start the celebration. Back it up 5 yards. Maybe this will be it. Adams to Galladay into the end zone. Touchdown Antioch on the final play of the game.
Going to opt out of the conversion. I assume as Coach Broom is bringing his players back. But Antioch will not get shut out for 3 straight quarters. Actually, the Clarksville defense is marching back. They need. That was not the last play, Lucas. There is one more play.
That's right. Antioch will go for 2. Or interesting finish here. Vicente Broom just said something to Mike Artis.
So it's over.
And now the game's over. He's going to opt out of the 2-point conversion. Brendan Galladay picks up his 16th touchdown receiving of the season to close it out. Andre Adams with his 41st total touchdown to pad the numbers. And now it goes final. Clarksville 25, Antioch 14 in Week 10. This time it's official. The Wildcats are Region 5 6A champions. Winners of 7 in a row. And Antioch picks up its first loss of the 2025 season. We'll be back with our player of the game and a chat with Isaac Shelby and his team as the Wildcats get it done with a 25-14 victory at home in Week 10. The Clarksville Wildcats are Region 5 6A champions with a 25-14 win over the Antioch Bears. An impressive defensive performance, 4 total touchdowns from Jamarcus Watkins, and a 7th straight win as Clarksville improves to 7-2 and hands Antioch its first loss of the season. Let's go downstairs as Sammy Kincaid is next to Isaac Shelby and his region title winning squad.
Hey guys, I'm here with Coach, and Coach is a little soaked right now. Got an ice bath, well-deserved ice bath, and well-deserved this defense. Incredible performance. What can you say about them?
Our defensive staff is really good. The players executed the plan really well. I'm so proud of them. They played their hearts out tonight. That's a great Antioch team over there. They scored a bunch of points this year, but we held them tonight, and I'm proud of them.
And you just told the team you clinched the region.
Yeah.
How proud are you of this team to get it done tonight?
Our school's been here 119 years, and this is the first group that's ever held the region title 3 times in a row.
That's impressive. Celebrate with your team, Coach.
What's that?
Celebrate with your team.
Yeah.
You heard them, region champions for the 3rd straight year, the Clarksville Wildcats. Well-deserved in Week 10 on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. Our player of the game tonight, DeMarcus Watkins. The Vanderbilt target was our player to watch coming in, and he lived up to that. Big plays left and right and on defense, but 13 carries for 143 yards and 4 total touchdowns.
Yeah, our second time having DeMarcus Watkins featured on Friday Night Rivals. First against Rossview, but an entirely different story this time around. 13 carries for 143 yards, 3 total touchdowns on the ground, and then 1 more on that pitch pass for a 4-yard reception. Also had a big breakup on the defensive side of the football. Just an all-around legacy game here for him tonight.
A homecoming performance in the final homecoming game of DeMarcus Watkins' senior year. Impressive stuff as Clarksville gets the job done, and we'll take a look at the final stats tonight in Clarksville, Tennessee. 259 rush yards to Antioch's 15. Of course, penalties harming the Bears, 75 yards on 10 penalties. But Clarksville, despite being outgained, Bruno, made the difference defensively, not by forcing turnovers, but by pressuring quarterback Andre Adams with the unbelievable season he's had, sacking him 7 times tonight.
Yeah, this was such a weird game. I mean, you look at the stats, you'll think, hey, Antioch probably, if you say Clarksville won, well, this must have been a close game. I mean, the final score, and it was inflated a little bit because of the score at the end, too. It was really in Clarksville's game all the way. Antioch had an 8-6 lead after that first quarter, but then just total domination, special teams, defense. They did what they needed to do on offense, rushing the football, controlling the time of possession. Just a great overall night for Clarksville.
Hope you'll join us next Thursday, October 30th, for a very special edition of Friday Night Rivals as we head to Rutherford County, a massive Region 3 showdown, the Battle of the Borough. The Riverdale Warriors face the undefeated Oakland Patriots in a classic crosstown rivalry to close out the regular season. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. right here on MyTV 30 Sports. But for now, all of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, the Tennessee Army National Guard, UA Local 572, and Sonic, who, through their contributions to the program, make these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsor supporters for their contributions to our 2025 Friday Night Rivals telecasts. The United States Navy, BMC Metalworks, Bart Durham Injury Law, South College, Wilson Bank and Trust, Western Kentucky University, Greenway Kia, Josh Houston and Associates, and NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And we would especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Antioch High School and our host, Clarksville High School. From our partner Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid downstairs, and our entire crew, I'm Lucas Panzica. The final score tonight in Week 10, Clarksville, region champs, as they beat Antioch 25-14.